Hi, Hoboken. Welcome to Namaste with Dr. A. We're in week 4 of mindful movements. You are really doing an outstanding job in the face of extraordinarily difficult times. You have gotten out of bed, you've gotten your children up, you've probably fed them, they've probably done a little bit of work, and here you are still standing. It's time to give back to yourself, to refill your cup, so you don't run empty in this difficult time. Today we're going to be talking about the concept of impermanence. Impermanence in Buddhism is a very prioritized concept, that nothing in this world is forever. This concept finds itself in many spiritual teachings of other kinds, in psychological research, and just in general well-being for ourselves. Recognizing that every moment is gone after it begins, that nothing is forever, is helpful whether our moment is one of joy or anguish. So, for instance, today, gorgeous out, beautiful. We all know this won't be our weather forever. So many people will use today to get out there, enjoy the sun, enjoy the wind, enjoy the clear skies, that heat on your back, on your skin. We also remember last week, which was cold and dreary and bone-chilling and a little bit lethargic feeling. But just like the weather, nothing in this world is forever. It's not always going to be dreary. It's not always going to be sunny. Let's take a moment to recognize that in the face of this pandemic, this will not last forever. Repeat after me. This will not last forever. And that is true on many levels in this exact crisis we are in. Your child will not always be instructed in your home. You will not always be asked to be a parent, an employee, a teacher, a cook, all at once at the same time. You will not always have to be 6 feet away from everybody. The parks will not be closed forever. The promenade will not be closed forever. There'll be a time where you're not wearing a mask to the store. We know this to be true on an intellectual level, but to sit and acknowledge it and breathe that in is hugely beneficial to our psyche. I often tell myself when I'm driving and I get lost, which before Waze existed, happened a lot. And I would say, okay, there's a really slim chance that I will be lost on the highways of New Jersey when I'm 95 years old. There's a good shot I'm going to figure it out before then. This won't be forever. And whenever I tell myself that, I loosen up in my body. I feel like, okay, I'm just going to figure out how to get home from here, one step at a time. And it's the same thing with what we're going through now. On the flip side, the beauty, the joy, the warmth also does not last forever. So in those moments, it's important to practice mindfulness. How does my body feel right now? What do I hear in the background? I hear birds in my backyard. I feel sun on my face. I feel really secure and warm. I may not feel that way 1 hour from now. I recognize that right now I have that benefit, and right now I need to enjoy it. So while you're also enduring the things you wish would pass very quickly, lean into the things that will go away that might have some benefit. Perhaps you've had extra time with your family in a good way here and there. That meaningful conversation, that time your child opened up to you and you didn't expect it. Enjoy it, because those moments won't be here either when they're out of the house for many hours a day. Or when you have the freedom to take a walk at 1 p.m. when before you might not have. So breathing in the idea that we're only of this moment. Exhaling the idea that something is forever. Ridding that feeling. Inhale the now. Exhale everything else. 2 more. And release. Now, mindful movement to emphasize this concept. Grab a towel, grab a length of space the length of your body, and let's begin. Starting at the top of your mat with a miniature sun salutation to warm up the body. Inhale, arms outstretched, heart open. Exhale, release. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release. Send one foot back, straight leg, strong. Send the other foot back. Two choices to lower down. Knees, chest, chin. Slither your body forward. Raise your chest into cobra. Elbows bent along your rib cage. Tops of your feet on the mat. Or lower halfway where your elbows are bent by your rib cage. Pull your chest through. Roll over your toes and look up. So you choose the way you lower. Lower down. Shine your heart upward. Bring your hips back to a downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Raising your right leg, you're going to gently place your right ankle behind your left wrist very slowly. If you feel it's uncomfortable but not painful, remember that discomfort is not forever. Bring your knee bent and forward. Your right ankle goes behind your left wrist. Release your foot down. If your hip is popped in the air, take your towel, fold it in half, maybe 3 times, maybe roll it as much as you can, and sit down on it. One hand is tented in front of your right knee, the other hand in front of your shin. You can bring your right heel closer into your body if it feels better, or more parallel to the front of your mat if that's comfortable. Wherever you are is fine. Inhale. Exhale, try to lower down and release. Perhaps on your elbows. Perhaps straighten your arms. Perhaps fold all the way down and lower your head. Any of those variations is completely okay, but release your control about what's to come and what was yesterday, acknowledging none of it is permanent. So in the here and now, the only moment we have, release to the floor. 3 breaths. Bring your hands tented in front of your knee and shin. Lean over. Release your towel. From a hands and knees position, raise yourself into a down dog position, pedaling one leg, bending the other, and alternate. From here, lift your other leg straight up and behind. This is your left ankle. It's going to ultimately land behind your right wrist. Your left knee behind your left wrist. Bend, bring through, angle your foot towards the outside, place it either behind your right wrist or a little bit closer to you. Lower your left knee down, untuck your toe, bring your knees down, and again, if your left hip is popping off the floor, stick a pillow under, stick a towel under. Lift your chest towards the sky in a micro back bend and lower down to what's comfortable for you, embracing the moment we are in. And if it burns a little bit or it feels a little bit like, wow, that's a stretch, it won't last forever. If it doesn't feel good in a painful way, immediately release your legs out and go into a child's pose. Walk your fingers forward, lower your elbows. You can stay here with your heart and head lifted. You can extend your arms or you can lower all the way down. 3 breaths on your own, taking in just this moment. Tent your fingertips, walk them back underneath your shoulder, remove any props underneath your hips. Returning to a tabletop position, curl your toes, lift your hips to downward dog, pedal back and forth. Hold it for 2 breaths. You're almost there, it's almost over. Knees come to the floor. Widen your knees, put your big toes together behind you, sit all the way back, release your head, extend your arms. And while you're in that pose, stay there. I just want to remind you, this is gonna feel extremely relaxing. You're releasing everything to the ground, letting the earth support you. Releasing your thoughts to your heart, which is now higher than your head. And you may think, oh, finally, this feels so good. This too will not last forever, and that's okay. Enjoy it in this moment. Breathing in, exhale. One more in child's pose, breathing in, exhale. Roll back up to center, sitting comfortably, shifting around your hips to get comfortable. Shoulders rolled behind you, head pulled to the sky, one hand on your heart, the other hand on top. Acknowledge this moment and what comes up for you. Happy, mad, sad, scared. Thoughts, I needed this, or oh, I don't want it to be over. Acknowledging them, not judging them. Feeling the breath enter your nose, back of the throat, into your chest and belly, and back out your mouth. Acknowledging how you are in this moment, knowing it can change. As we release our hands to our knees and we release our attachment to outcome, we make room in our heart and in our body and in our mind for peace. From my heart and home to yours, I wish you peace. I wish you health. I wish you happiness and freedom from suffering. Namaste. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And thank you, as always, for joining me.